guys, how are you doing today? It's P.E. Gilbert, your blogger, writing consultant, and the author to the fantasy novella, The Sultan's Daughter. And today we are honoured to have an interview with the USA Today bestselling author and mentor, Brittni Chenelle. Brittni has written many books in the urban fantasy genre, including The Fae The Fallen, Chaste Blood, and Kingdom Cold. Brittni is positive, enthusiastic, and fascinating. Here is the interview. Enjoy. So tell us a bit about yourself. Where do you come from, and how did this place influence your decision to become a writer?
So I grew up in New Hampshire, in a very rural area. There wasn't really much going on, so it was kind of up to you to entertain yourself. But I think what impacted me the most was that I actually struggled to learn to read and write. Like, it was one of the biggest obstacles when I was younger. And so my mom put in a lot of extra time, uh, outside of school. I was in special programs. It was like really, really difficult struggle for me. And over the years, I just got just the most fantastic teachers ever. I just one after the other that believed in me and just like never gave up on me. And I reached this turning point in high school where I had this teacher who made us basically write a short story, and he would read them anonymously to the class. And so I was really nervous because I knew my spelling and my grammar wasn't right. And I was really worried, but he just took a moment and he looked at what I wrote and he read it perfectly. And I could just see my classmates enjoying the story and their faces. And like, it didn't really matter, like the details that I might have messed up in my story, they were really enjoying it. And I felt this like sense of power. And I started to pursue writing where I used to be so afraid to pursue it before then. So it became, my favorite subject after that. And I ended up just following that road all the way through college and getting my master's in creative writing. And now here I am, I'm an author.
Well, you're more than just an author. You're a USA Today bestselling author, we should say. Thank you for sharing that lovely story with us. And I would never have guessed that you really struggled to read and write at a younger age. And that's a testament to your fortitude, for one. And two, I'm really happy to hear that when your classmates and your teacher read that story and when your classmates saw it all come before you, that's wonderful. You must have been so happy in that moment.
I was. And for one of your biggest insecurities to become your greatest strength, it changes you as a person. It makes you realize there's nothing that you can't do. And so I always try to include that in my story so that anyone else struggling with, reading or writing, or if they have kids who are struggling with it, they know that that's not a permanent condition that you're in. You can, make that your greatest asset in life. So
you have written many books in the urban fantasy genre.
Yes.
What three things inspired you to write in this genre?
It's one of my favorite genres to read in, definitely. So as a fan, I go in and I'm reading a book and I get swept up in the worlds that people create. I decided that I really wanted to, do it in my own way. And they say that's the best way to kind of jump into a genre. It's harder to jump into one that you don't read as much because you're kind of just trying to figure things out and, try to hit the tropes that are, important for each genre. So going in as a fan, that's really what I wanted to do.
It's a very good reason for writing in the genre. And you're doing a very, very good job.
Thank you. And I really love the fact that urban fantasy feels like the real world, and it just has like these hints of magic and the supernatural kind of hidden under the surface. Like, it could just be happening right now. And I love the feeling that it makes magic feel real to me. And it brings magic to the real world. So urban fantasy has just always captivated me like no other genre really can.
As has already been said, you are a USA Today bestselling author. Congratulations. That's an amazing achievement.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's you's done all the hard work. I'm merely just saying a title here. Why do you think people have enjoyed reading your books so much?
I think I have really interesting characters. I like morally gray characters. There's really no good guys or bad guys happening. You can't really tell who you're rooting for. You kind of just get this unease, like, because I feel the real world isn't so black and white, and they don't have these perfect people walking around making perfect decisions. So I love to embody that in my characters, and I think that people are finding it really relatable. And I've also gone out of my way to represent diverse groups of people. And that's been one of my missions from the beginning, to improve representation in urban fantasy specifically.
Those are very good reasons for why people enjoy your books. Yeah, the world is full of morally grey characters. And if there is a perfect person out there, I would love to meet him or her. Honestly, I really would.
Me too, but they might be a little boring though, right?
I need to meet this person before I could make such a judgment, of course. But I think you're right. When people tell you that they've read your books and they discuss them with you, how does it make you feel, especially when it comes to the more intimate scenes that you've written?
Well, writing in general is a very solitary experience. There is just a ton of hours that go into it that you're just alone in silence, especially for me, because I can't have music or sound. It's just like hour after hour of silence, and you're just in your own head, and you don't really know how it's coming across, or if you're connecting, or if anyone else is going to sort out this puzzle that you've created until you release the book. So it's a very nerve-wracking experience. And when readers reach out to me and they want to discuss things from my books or scenes or emotions that I brought out, instead of being this isolating career, it's more like you have a community of people strolling through your imagination and going with you in some of the most like personal thoughts that you have. And I find it to be extremely rewarding. So I always encourage readers to reach out and just, chat with me about how they were feeling. Even if they, like, I hate this character so much, he does all the wrong things. I love that. I just love it. Strong opinions either way, it just makes it worthwhile for me.
I completely agree with you on all the points you've said, particularly when you say it can be isolating and lonely at times, because it is. Right. Writing is a lonely experience. You are just in your room at times, just writing. That is it, with your own thoughts. And I do agree with you. When people reach out, it's wonderful. And just to say to all those watching this interview, reach out to Brittni, please. You'll love her. Which character in any of your stories is the most like you?
Well, I think that there's a bit of me in all my characters, I like some of the more deeply flawed characters as, probably being the most similar to me, because I have this character named Kaito in my fantasy series, The Fae and the Fallen. And people don't like him because he's kind of a bully. And it's not that I would consider myself a bully, but keeping people at an arm's length as like a defense mechanism is something that I tend to do. And, I really relate to that character a lot, I think.
Well, I'm very happy to hear that you're not a bully. That's a starting point. It's very natural to have that instinct that you've described. And it's very honest of you to have shared it with us as well. So thank you. What two things would you like your readers to take away from your stories?
I think I would like my readers to take away that you can make mistakes in your life and they don't have to define you. And you can just, carry on no matter what obstacles are put in your way. You can turn them into your greatest strength and you can overcome them and be the best version of yourself. Kind of those obstacles make you the best version of yourself.
That's a really lovely message, and I genuinely hope people take that away from your stories and they become better people as a result.
That would be excellent.
Would you ever consider writing a book in another genre or subgenre?
I do have a historical fantasy series out where it's kind of a King Arthur retelling, where my characters that I've created go against the King Arthur cast. So it's really fun because you're kind of rooting for both sides and you don't know how it's going to go down, and it's really fun. I just prefer urban fantasy because it's a lot less research as far as, historical. You can really mess up some historical stuff. Like, and yeah, but I'm also kind of venturing into paranormal romance, more adult themes and things like that too. And I read a lot of contemporary romance, but I've never given it a shot because I just can't help but throw magic in there.
You also write a blog. What do you blog about?
I do. I usually post publishing tips for other writers, things like how to get more reviews and where to promote your books for low cost. There's a lot of indie authors trying to make it, and I mentor a lot of new authors because I had a lot of help when I first started too.
We're lucky to have you in the community.
Just trying to give back. I've had a lot of help too.
Thank you. Keep up the great work, both in the writing of books and the writing of blog pieces as well.
Okay.
If you could go back in time and speak with your younger self, a younger Brittni, what advice would you give her about the writing process?
I think I would tell myself how much fun it can be, because when I was struggling with it, I just thought it was this impossible task and that it was always going to be like the sort of misery of breaking it down and sounding it out. And I would have told myself to go to the library and pick out a book that really called to me, something that looked really fun, and try reading that, because you start out and they give you some stuff you like and some stuff you don't really connect with, and that can be difficult. But I think I would tell myself to read something with dragons. Just pick up the nearest dragon book and you'll be all for it.
What is your writing kryptonite?
Probably focus. This year especially. I have about three or four finished books right now that I haven't published, but I'm trying to complete a series and then rapid release it. But right now I have two half completed series, and I feel like if I had focused on one, I would have one to release right now. But I'm kind of in the middle. So I would say probably focus. And it also takes me a long time to dial in when I'm writing. Like it takes like an hour to get myself to just write. But once I'm in, I'll stay locked in for a long time. But it's, starting is the hardest part, I think.
I can relate to that completely. And I want to say that for someone who claims that focusing is a problem, having 2/3 of two series done, or however much it is, doesn't sound like you're having too many problems on that issue, to be quite honest. I wish I had that problem.
Well, I'm doing my best. I'm trying to overcome it.
In your opinion, what is the hardest part of the writing process?
I think it's being brave enough to go for it. Sometimes I forget about this, but I'm mentoring someone who's new right now. And just to watch her go through the same things that everyone goes through, it's the self-doubt. Like you start writing something and you're very excited, but somewhere in the middle, you start to worry, like, is anyone going to like this? Am I going to be wasting my time? And you kind of have to overcome your own self-doubt. And it never really gets easier. It's like, you put out books, but that self-doubt, you never really get over it. You just kind of learn to overcome it. And so especially watching her go through that, it reminds me of how challenging that aspect of writing can be.
That's very honest of you. And I have, again, total belief that because she's seen what you have done, she is going to go on to achieve and fulfill her own dreams as well.
Yeah, I hope so. I really believe in her.
I can tell she's very lucky to have you as a mentor. How has writing changed you as a person?
I think that it has given me a sort of sense of purpose that I was missing before. I liked a lot of different jobs. I was kind of the person who jumped around. I was a high school English teacher for a while. I worked at Subway. I was a sandwich artist. That was still my favorite job ever. I loved that job. Um, I did all sorts of things, and I was kind of missing that creative element, that I really feel writing helps me feel. And I have found a lot of confidence where I can express myself and really shine in what I love. And it's not even just the writing part that I love about publishing. I find the book promotion to be kind of fun and exciting. I also really enjoy like the cover design elements and stuff, and choosing, the chapter headings, looking all cute and branding. I kind of find the whole process to be exciting, even after being a few years into it.
All of that is wonderful to hear, and I can really see that you enjoy what you're doing, and that again explains why you are succeeding and why you have become a USA Today best-selling author.
I can't really believe it myself. I'm pretty new at that. I just got the title like a month or two ago, so I'm new.
Are you writing another book at present? And if so, please could you give us a sneak peek about what it is you're writing?
Yes, right now I'm working on a series called Repressed Royals, and the first one is going to be released next month. So I'm really excited about that. And it takes place in the vampire court. And that one's actually already completed. So I'm currently writing book 2 in that series, which is in the wolf shifter court. So it's very exciting for me.
It sounds exciting and interesting, and I'm sure your readers are going to absolutely love it.
I hope so.
Outside of writing, what do you like to do in your spare time?
I really love video games. I'm a gamer. I love animated movies too, but that's more storytelling. I enjoy audiobooks a lot too. I spend a lot of my money on that.
Lastly, and I cannot believe we're on the last question already, is there anything else you'd like to say that you haven't already in this interview?
Just that if anyone out there is considering trying to write a book, or getting into publishing, that they absolutely should go for it, and that it's as fun and fulfilling as you think, and it's not as difficult. You just have to stick with it and believe in yourself, and that's the only thing it takes. You don't have to be the best at spelling or grammar, or you don't even have to have all the ideas ready to go. You just have to want it, and you can definitely get in the game, and there's a whole community that would jump to support you in that mission.
And Brittni is the #1 person who will support you as well.
Absolutely.
And that's all I have for you today, guys. Thank you for watching, and I really hope you have enjoyed this interview with the USA Today best-selling author and mentor, Brittni Chenelle. Like, comment, and hit that subscribe button, and tell me, what did you think of the interview? Do you agree that Brittni is positive, enthusiastic, and fascinating? In the description below, I have left links to Brittni's books, her website, and to her Facebook page. If you are a writer and are looking for an excellent mentor, then look no further, as Brittni is wonderful and very helpful. Plus, if you are a fan of the urban fantasy genre, then check out Brittni's books, as you are going to love them. Moreover, my debut fantasy novella, The Sultan's Daughter, is out. If you are looking for a book that is short, fast-paced, and full of suspense, then check it out. I have left a link for the book in the description below as well. Otherwise, until next time, keep well. Once again, guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it and I hope you've enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button and then you will be the first to receive more awesome content from my channel, and I hope to see you again soon.